Good evening, South Mississippi. Meteorologist Taylor Graham here. Just wanted to give a very quick forecast update because we do have rain on the radar, and I'll show you that in just a few moments. We didn't have an early evening newscast due to college football, and we won't have a newscast until later tonight. Hopefully at 10 o'clock, but it really does depend on these college football games, so just a heads up on that. Thankfully, the weather this weekend relatively quiet, but just a heads up that we could be seeing some more showers throughout the evening, and we do have a few of those moving through. And where we have some of that cooler rainfall, things have cooled down a little bit. Notice those upper 70s near Poplarville and Wiggins. That's where we're seeing some of those showers right now. Closer to the coast, things still warmer this evening. Generally speaking, we're going to be cooling down into the upper 60s and low 70s as we wake up on Sunday morning. But over the next couple of hours, a decent chance of seeing a few showers, maybe a rumble of thunder. I'm not ruling out a few strikes of lightning. I haven't really seen too much in the way of lightning just yet, but a heads up that if you have any more outdoor plans this evening, you may be seeing a little bit of rainfall. And first alert radar as of 6:30 showing some of those showers moving in from the north and west. They're moving to the south and east. And like I said, I'm not really seeing any lightning at this time, but where we have some of those reds, that indicate some heavier downpour. So I just don't want anyone to get caught off guard if you see some of these quick moving showers later this evening. As we get closer to midnight and by Sunday morning, our rain chances look a little lower, but I'm not going to completely rule out just a few stray showers overnight tonight. Taking a look at the bigger picture, we can generally see these showers moving from the north and west to the south and east. They're moving in a counterclockwise fashion, and that's because we have an upper level area of low pressure. Anytime we have that, that causes that counterclockwise spin, and we can see that up into North Mississippi. So in the upper levels, we have this area of low pressure, and it looks like that's going to be sticking around throughout Sunday and also into Monday. So while it doesn't look like a complete washout this weekend, just a heads up that this upper level low may help to create a few more showers and thunderstorms on Sunday and even into Monday. That area of low pressure looks like it's going to be getting a little bit closer to us as we get into Monday, and that's why our rain chances at that point will be a bit higher. So over the next couple of hours, I would say through about 8, 9 o'clock, decent chance of seeing a few more showers. Once you get past midnight and into Sunday morning, not as much rain expected, although our rain chances not completely zero. Still could see a few showers early on Sunday morning and into Sunday afternoon. I'm keeping the chance for some hit or miss showers and storms. Notice tomorrow morning, Futurecast has us anywhere from the upper 60s to the low 70s, a little bit closer to the coast. If we get some breaks in the clouds tomorrow, we're going to be back into the mid to upper 80s. A little muggy, but not as bad as what it could be. And you may have noticed today the humidity wasn't too bad. We had dew points in the 60s, which for us during this time of the year, that's not too bad. It was a little muggy outside, but nothing that we couldn't handle. As we get into Monday, that same upper level low gets closer to us, so I do expect us to have a better chance of seeing some showers and even a few thunderstorms as we get into Monday. And if we get more rain and a little bit more cloud cover, we may generally keep our temperatures more so in the mid 80s at that point. And of course, if you see any rain tomorrow or on Monday, you will be able to cool down just a little bit more. Once we get into Tuesday, though, I do expect our rain chances to start to decrease a little bit. Still going to see a few hit or miss showers and storms, but by Wednesday and Thursday, we'll see some drier air move into our area. That same area of low pressure starts to move away from us. And so by the middle to end of this upcoming week, the weather looks pretty quiet. Now, because we are going to be drier, seeing a little more sunshine, things are going to be heating up a little bit more by the end of the week. Still nothing too abnormal for this time of the year. Average highs at this point are in the upper 80s. Generally, that's where we're going to stay by the middle to end of the week. So while it is going to be hot at times, the humidity is not going to be too bad, and I don't have any 90s technically in the forecast. Could see some low 90s by Thursday and Friday, but it doesn't look like it's going to be overly hot. And to be honest, over the next 6 to 7 days, the weather fairly calm, other than a few showers and storms tomorrow, Monday, and Tuesday, which still doesn't look like a washout. All in all, this week is going to be much calmer than what we had this past week with what was Hurricane Francine. And in the tropics, we really don't have anything concerning the Gulf Coast at this time. Now, we do have Tropical Storm Gordon that is way out there in the Atlantic. There could also be some development along the East Coast over the next few days. National Hurricane Center gives that a medium chance, but even if that does develop, that is not going to be a concern for us here in South Mississippi. And taking a look at Gordon, it's generally expected to weaken over the next 24 hours. It's going to meander out in the open Atlantic. Looks like this is going to be what we call a fish storm, not really affecting land. Of course, not really going to be much of an impact for the U.S. That's what we always like to hear. So Gordon is just another name to cross off the list. Next name on the list is Helene, and then after that, it's going to be Isaac. So maybe potentially seeing something develop along the east coast of the U.S. over the next few days, but no concerns for the Gulf of Mexico at this time, so we can sigh a little breath of relief for the time being. Of course, still a ways to go before the end of hurricane season, and history tells us that we're really in the thick or the peak of hurricane season at this point. Once we get into October, generally we're looking at less tropical activity, but still could see some tropical activity at that point. We don't want to write October off. As we know, Hurricane Michael, that was back in 2018. That was a major hurricane that made landfall in early October. We've had Hurricane Zeta at the end of October that affected South Mississippi. So while generally speaking, activity starts to drop off by October, definitely can't let our guard down. But at least for this week, not really looking at any impacts in terms of the tropics along the Gulf Coast. So that gives our yard an opportunity to dry out. Still could see some of those hit or miss showers and storms tomorrow, Monday, and into Tuesday. Doesn't look like a big washout like what we had certainly last week with Hurricane Francine. And by Wednesday and Thursday, really not expecting hardly any rain at all. At that point, the humidity will be a little bit lower. It's going to be a bit hotter, highs in the upper 80s, but generally speaking, that's pretty average for this time of the year. And in the morning's not going to be too bad. With that lower humidity, we'll stay in the upper 60s, low 70s expected along the coast. So all in all, not a bad forecast. And just a fun fact, by next Sunday, that is going to be the first official day of fall. Chances are we're still going to be in the mid to upper 80s. The calendar may say fall. Of course, it's not really going to feel like fall around here, but at least it's not going to be overly hot over the next 6 to 7 days. And again, by the middle to end of the week, our rain chances are looking fairly slim. So we've got that going for us. And the tropics, again, not too much of a concern here along the Gulf Coast nor in South Mississippi. So that being said, I'm wrapping it up here. Just wanted to give everyone a quick update since we didn't have an early evening newscast. We will have a newscast that is in theory going to be starting at 10 o'clock. Really depends on which football game ends earlier. That could be on CBS, that could be on ABC, but following those college football games this evening, we will be going on the air with our newscast, and we will have the very latest on the forecast at that point. So with that being said, I hope everyone has a fantastic rest of your Saturday evening. Maybe you're enjoying some of that college football, and we hope to see you later this evening at WLOX.